Okay, so we should be live. We're not gonna be on here for long because I have an appointment at 7, coaching client. But I wanted to do this while the topic was up on platform. Guys, if you hear noise, they're my nephews and they're playing upstairs and they're 2 boys. So, and their playroom is right above my office. So yeah, so you may hear them. You will hear them. If you don't hear them, you will. They want you to hear them. So guys, I hope that you're doing well. I want to do this topic today since it is Monday, and I figured it would be a nice discussion for us to have during the week. I'm going to be creating some content on my Facebook channel as well as other platforms, but I figured that with today's post, it would be a nice conversation. Again, it's going to be short, less than 30 minutes because I don't have all the time. But what I am going to do is I'm going to close the door because I can hear them. So I'm going to close the door. So you guys hold on for me 1 second. And I'm going to close the door just in case they decide that they want to be, well, they're going to be boys. Boys are going to be boys. So I did several posts today in regards to just men and women, and especially from my perspective and viewpoint. But I wanted to kind of deep dive a little bit more in reference to this and talk about a little bit more about just the processing, the thoughts that, that we think. And I put the earphones on because I can hear my nephews. They're just having a ball upstairs. It's 2 little toddler boys. But when we're talking about this topic, dating as an entrepreneur, I wanted to provide some more insight when it came to this topic. And again, everything's going to be based on the post that I wrote on my Facebook profile. So at the core, I wanted to talk about being focused on your productivity because that's really what I was focusing on in today's post. And I think that for many entrepreneurs, not just entrepreneurs, but career-driven people, that may be a better title for this, but career-driven people who are not just career-driven, but are life-driven. I think that there's 2 different types of people in life. There are people who understand that life is more than just living, and then there's people who think that life is just living, right? So those are 2 different types of people. And when you have people who know that, life is meant to be, enjoyed and expanded and, just to make the best of what God is giving you, there's people kind of like, they just settle with whatever happens, whatever way the wind blows, the people who say, it is what it is, that kind of stuff. Hey, Queen Elda, how are you? How are you doing? Be sure, guys, to say hello. When you have those kinds of people, you have to understand that you have to be around your own kind. And what I mean by that is you have to match with the person or the type of person that matches the energy that you put out. And a lot of times you have people who are all about, the best of life and make sure they're doing, all that God's given them to do. And then they try to match with someone who's living on a whole different spectrum of, it's like whatever way the wind blows, I'm bored, life is kind of just happening, and we try to match with those kind of people. It doesn't work. So I use the comparison of kings and queens because I felt like that was a perfect explanation. But then there are people who came in my inbox and had questions. And so I wanted to do a live to kind of break down some of the questions that I got. And so I'm going to pull up some of the questions on my phone here, and we're going to answer them because I wanted to tackle them. So I got a question from the individual. Hold on, give me 1 second. I got a question from an individual, and I'm going to sum it up because she was trying to tell her story, and then there was like some questions in between. So for this one, hold on. Okay, so in a nutshell, she had 2 major questions. The first one was focused on what do you define as a queen, which I thought was a good question. And the second one was, what do you define as a king in a nutshell? Because she was talking about the kings that she had talked to. But in the end, as I got down to the nitty gritty, she wasn't dating or talking to kings, right? So in my opinion, I think of kings and queens a little bit like, what we've seen in monarchy and things like that. And then a lot like what we see in the Bible. So for me, when I talk about the Bible, I mean less of the kings and queens we've seen in the Bible and more of the royal priesthood that God has called us to be, if that makes sense. So in my opinion, and again, I'm old school when it comes to men and women, so I may not fit some people's perspective. But I believe that a king and a queen, they have a kingdom. And I believe that what happens is that a queen has her own passions, her own desires, her own focuses, right? And a king will pursue that queen, a queen that he desires. And what's going to end up happening is that he will acquire that queen, not as if she's a possession, but as an asset, okay? Not as a thing, but as a person that will help his kingdom to flourish, at the same time allowing the queen to also, and I'm not going to use the word allow, but will, basically, without overpowering her, let her do her thing too, So, I believe that kings and queens, they come together to walk in purpose to build a kingdom up together. That's how I view it. And because of that, you will automatically know who isn't a king because of how they operate, not just their own kingdom, but their own kingdom before they met you. Okay. And I believe that you want to be with someone who is a good steward of what God has given them, because that's what makes a good king. There are bad kings, but what makes a good king is someone who's a good steward of what God has given them. Not perfect, but still a good steward. So you don't want someone who uses their imperfections as an excuse to not run their kingdom wisely, right? Because you have to understand that when a king obtains a queen, he has to maintain that queen. I'm not defining what that looks like, because everyone is different. But I have seen many times when women have called certain men kings, but that king did not have the leadership to lead you as your king. Got it? So you can't really call him a king, because if he does not have king abilities or king potential or king anything, he's not a king. Okay. He may be an amazing guy, amazing man, but he's not necessarily going to be a good king, someone to actually rule and lead with. Okay. The other thing though, too, is that you have to be around people who value their time. A lot of people, again, we talk about entrepreneurship, career driven, you will really know who is really ready for some marriage, for some real love life. Because you know why? A lot of people are not as focused as they say. They say they want marriage. They're not focused. They're not even focused enough to date you correctly. How are they going to have enough focus to marry you correctly? So you have to also understand that you have to be around people who value their time and they don't like to waste it. Because people who like to waste their time will waste yours. And when you're someone who has a focus, who is pursuing a certain passion, you don't have time to waste. Like, I know for me, I know that I can make my schedule available for a date, but best believe that if I don't go on the date, I have stuff to do. Because if I don't go on the date and that time is open, that time will be filled very fast with some things for me to do, because I'm not a bored person. I don't do boring. I don't do bored. I don't know what to do today. I don't have any of that. If I schedule time to sleep, it's because I've scheduled time to sleep. If I have scheduled time to go shopping, it's because I've scheduled time to go shopping. I don't have like free time. And if there is free time, do you know what I do with the free time? I put it to use. So either I'll say, I'm going to go to the beach today. Guess what that is? That's making use of the time. I'm not going to the beach today because I'm free. I feel the time. For the free time with something to do. Got it? So when you're around people who are time wasters, run away. You know why? Because they will never value your heart. You know why? Because to date or to obtain a heart takes time. And people who do not value time, they don't see an issue with leading you on for months ahead and not telling you that they don't like you, or not, or they'll waste your time and really tell you, I'm really talking about like a couple of people. There's only I'm talking a couple of people, but I'm actually dating someone right now. I'm just kind of shooting the breeze. I'm not that kind of person that you shoot breeze with. And see, I'm not just talking to the women. I'm talking to the men, because you guys know from my posts and statuses, I will defend the kings like I defend the queens. Okay. Because there are many men who waste their time with women who are wasters, time wasters. Okay, women who just want someone to talk to, someone who has some muscles and shoulders. Listen, kings, your arms have better use than to have somebody leaning on them who wants to waste your time. Okay, I also don't have time to text. Let's also talk about this. It's not just about the physical time. Whenever I take out the time to text you, to call you, to spend all night on the phone with you, that time needs to have a return on my investment. Because I refuse to spend 3 hours on the phone with you and you're going to waste my time. So what do? A king, a good king, a true king, a real right king, he's going to make his actions clear. You know why? He doesn't want to waste his time. He's going to tell you, this is what I'm looking for right now. If he says, I'm not looking for a relationship, you know what? You need to understand that what just came out of his mouth. Because if you don't listen to what came out of his mouth and you act as if he told you he wanted a relationship, but he told you he was not ready for one, that's on you. That you decided to string this person along. No, the king will tell you, listen, I'm looking for a relationship. Guess what he's telling you? I'm looking for a relationship. A king will be clear in his actions. Like, listen, this is how my schedule is. This is what it's going to be like. You know, I know you're busy. No, I'm busy. I think we should come up with a strategy for how we're going to keep in contact with each other. I think that he's going to give you a game plan. He's going to also expect for you to have one. He may not say it, but he's going to expect for you to also contribute to this contribution of how we're going to make this thing happen, make it work, right? But here's something that a king and a queen also do. They don't put their hearts out immediately. Because patience is a virtue. It's a real virtue. You have to understand that because you don't have time to waste, you don't have time to lose your heart and get it back every other week, every other month. Okay? Why? If I'm over here building what I'm building in my life, I don't have time to pick up my broken heart every other month. I don't. I really don't. So what I do is I don't give out my inner heart until I know the person that I'm giving it to has the ability to hold it correctly and not break it in the process. So what that means is, as I posted before, we take time to get to know each other. A lot of people in today's age don't like time. We want everything fast. We want fast food, fast apps, food delivery. We want Amazon to deliver our packages in one day. We want fast everything. And we try to apply the Amazon shipping process to our love lives. And you have to understand that because you are a builder, this is why I'm focusing more on people who are career driven, building up their careers, building up their life, building up their financial stability, all that good stuff. Because you're a builder, you have to date and love differently. Because it's not as if, let me put it like this, let me back and put it like this. This is why. Because when I date you, I'm not just dating you. You know who else is dating you? My future is dating you. My money is dating you. Yeah. My businesses are dating you. My career is dating you. Because when you intimately connect with someone, they have the ability to influence you, whether you think of it or not, whether you think so or not, whether you agree or not. Let me tell you something. The love heartstrings of a person can tug very hard and make you have thoughts about yourself that should not exist, can make you feel some type of way about your own business that should not exist, right? So I'm not just dating you. Yeah, my businesses are dating you right now. They sure are. Because if I get so wrapped up and tangled up in you and you make me lose who I am, guess what's going to happen to my businesses? They're going to go down. Yeah. Have you ever met somebody who married the wrong person or dated the wrong person and you saw how it affected their drive for life? Come on now. How many people can we attest to that we've met? Friends, coworkers, and come on now. You saw what happened when they were with the wrong person, were completely a different person, they were not on their business like they should, was not even paying attention to their dreams like they should, because the person they were with didn't make them go after their dreams harder. It actually made them slow down. And you're like, wait, like what's happened to them? You know what happened to them? The wrong person. And we think that people don't have the ability to affect our dreams. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So you have to understand that this is greater than just you texting somebody. When you're a builder, oh, hold on. It's not just me come to the table. Everything I've built comes to the table as well. So we have to take ourselves and our love lives way more seriously. People will try to make it seem like, oh, it's not this, your girl, have fun. Enjoy yourself. And I'm sure that was fine for, a season when you weren't building. It was fine for a season when you didn't have a whole bunch of stuff on your plate. It was fine for a season when you had no big responsibilities. But the moment that you begin to have big girl, big boy, grown woman, grown man responsibilities, things change. Everything changes, matter of fact, because you are more intentional about where your presence shows up. So I know for me, I don't have time to be, again, with all these different people, right? When I'm building something, I need you to value what I'm building. This also goes to show you too, that you have to only date and marry builders. Why? Because only those types of people can understand your language. Because a lot of times we want to have certain conversations with certain people. And if I cannot have a certain conversation with you when it regards to my dreams and my visions, I probably should not be dating you. And sometimes we date and we love according to everything else except our dreams and our destiny, right? So in other words, like we love to be on the phone because they make us feel good, feel sexy, feel grown man, feel handsome, but that's it. They can't do anything else. They make you feel sexually aroused, they make you feel like the best thing since sliced bread, but that's it. And the only time, that's how you know. For many people, the only time conversations get exciting is when you talk about sex, we talk about each other's bodies, we talk about each other, how each other looks, right? So if that is the only time the conversation gets interesting, that is a great sign, a warning sign that the only thing that person can do for you is something physical, and it will not last long. Because guess what? If you're a builder, you know what you're addicted to? You're addicted to changing the world, building people's lives, loving yourself, building legacy, loving your family, right? So that means that your conversations need to be much more rich than just girl, boy, sir, man. Honey, I love that. But I saw you where you look fine. Oh yeah, girl, yeah, you look fine too. Again, how long is that going to really last? Especially if you're addicted to building. Because when you're a dreamer, when you're a visionary, what really gets you excited is when you have ideas. And it's when your ideas begin to formulate actually physically things. And it's when your hands start to get to work and it begins to create things. You're working with your clients, or maybe it's in your career and things are moving, and, you have ideas and you have different concepts, and, you're doing things in your job and you're loving what you're doing and how it's moving. And you're like, I wonder if I did da-da-da-da. Or, you love how, you're stacking, day by day. You're loving the journey of your life because you love life. And it's not that you're perfect, because things will happen. But see, that's the thing too. When things happen, do you have somebody who can rock with you in the darkness, right? You got to have a good friend. You got to have somebody who y'all could both be in the dark and y'all will both have a good time, and it not be anything sexual. It'd be where, you are so engrossed in the fact that your mind matches their mind and y'all can flow back and forth. That is what a builder needs. But a lot of times what we're doing is, we think that, we don't both have to be builders. You know what I mean? We don't both have to be builders. But even if you both, that's the thing, you may not be the same kind of person, but you both need to be builders. You may not build the same thing though, but you both must be builders. You both have to have the builder mindset. You may come from two different marketplaces and two different industries and two different passions. But at the end of the day, you must be with a builder. I'm going to tell you why. Again, because you got to be able to talk the same language. Again, it may not be all the same definition, same words, but the language, the way that you perceive something needs a match. So the reason why we're saying all this is because if you are someone who is in the love circle, love life, you're on dating apps, you talk to different people, all I'm asking you to do is be more intentional about your time, about your presence, about who you're around. I want you to value who you are and realize that you are not perfect, but you are worth the best. The best does not mean necessarily monetarily or looks, but you deserve what you need, right? I didn't say necessarily all things you want, but you at least deserve things that you need. You need someone who can support you physically, spiritually, emotionally, right? Psychologically. You deserve someone who values your mind and the way that you think. I'm a sapio, what they call it, sapiosexual. And so for me, I value that. What turns me on is the mind. Now, listen, you do need to be secure as a man. I need you to have all your stuff in order, okay? But at the same time, though, too, I enjoy the mind because here's the thing. The mind will speak. And out of the mind comes the heart. And you really know how someone functions when you hear, you got to catch this, not necessarily their voice speak, but their mind speak, how they see things, how they see life, how they see their business. That's when you begin to ask people deeper questions than what's your favorite color? And there's something wrong with that because you want to know that stuff too. But I also want to know, what are you passionate about? Why are you doing what you're doing right now? For you, what does legacy look like? We gotta, again, you may not agree with me on certain things, but whoever I'm going to be with, right? We should have at least some similar connections that way. How do you see love? What's your view on sex? when it comes to what you're building right now, are there any things that you think that, you want to maybe change, or what are you looking to improve this year? What is your drive like? What impacts your drive? What makes you excited about certain things? Again, going back to what are you passionate about? Why are you passionate about it? What formed that passion, right? And so as you have more conversations with these different people, right, you will find of really what they're looking for. Because someone who's not looking for a relationship, they will not invest too much time into certain types of relational conversations. Then some people, you got to realize, as I've said before, some people are just good to talk to. Some people, never be deceived and think that talking with someone on the phone for a long period of time means that you're meant to be with each other. I heard, oh man, we were on the phone for 5 hours. That's how I knew it was meant to be. I'm in sales. Do you know I can be on the phone for 5 hours with somebody? Because you know what? That's my skill. I know how to talk to someone. I know how to make the phone last for as long as I need to last, right? Don't be deceived by time as if phone on a phone call means that you guys are meant to be. Listen, in today's society, if you know how to have great conversation, you know how to have great conversation. It does not mean that you're meant to be with somebody. Right? So what am I really looking for? I'm going to look past just the fact that we can talk on the phone for hours, because we can talk about stuff for hours. And guess what? We may just need to only be friends, right? I'm actually looking for something deeper, right? So again, this is what I want to encourage you guys on. If you have any thoughts, be sure to, drop them in the comments. What do you think? Again, if you're watching the replay, what do you value when it comes to your relationships? What are things that you need right now, right? We all have different needs. Right? We all have different needs. For me personally, I'm a firecracker. I am a firecracker. And sometimes I get a little bit too hot-headed. So I know that I need someone who can cool me down. I need someone who says, listen, Gigi, okay, listen, okay, you had your little spiel. You done. I need somebody like that. Someone else may need someone who's a little more quieter. For me, I need somebody who's gonna be like, okay, G, okay, you done with this? Okay, we're done. Okay, right? I need somebody who knows that I get really excited about things, and I have to realize that I can't do everything at one time. So I need somebody who is more of a bird's eye view kind of guy. He says, okay, Gigi, I'm saying all the stuff you're talking about. Okay, but which one are you going to start with? Right? I'm the kind of person where I can become very isolated. Like I'm so addicted to doing things by myself that I, in many situations, don't have a problem not talking to someone for like weeks and just be focused on what I'm working on. And I've learned that's not healthy in a relationship, So I need someone who understands that, Gigi's going to isolation mode. Okay, come back, Gigi. You can't go there, Gigi. Okay, you're with me, Gigi. You can't do that, right? So I need to have somebody who really keeps his eyes on stuff, I need somebody who is a grind. I mean, this guy, he is a making moves kind of guy. Why? Because that's me. And I need someone who can lead me. So if I have to drag you in the relationship, that's not going to work. If I have to be like, listen, come on, no, that's not going to work. Right? Okay, so Rashana, she says something which is great. She says, I would suggest looking beyond the now, like what you need now, because that will change, and look for where you're going. Exactly, right? So what does the future look like, right? On top of that, you have to know that people change and it will not be the same, right? I remember one time we did a talk like this, and someone said, as I love, you can't marry potential. You got to look at what they're doing now, right? And you got to figure out, is that going to be enough? If they change, is this formula going to work for me, right? Because a lot of times we're looking, one day they could be this, and one day they could be that. Well, what are they right now? Okay, and when you look at them right now, okay, do you think that engine, okay, could eventually become something else, right? Because a lot of times we put what we would like to see, but then the question is, well, what are you seeing right now? Right. So these are things that we have to look at. And a lot of times like, I don't want to judge. People say all the time, I don't want to judge. Listen, you're talking about someone you're getting married to. I pray you look at them. I pray you look at their fruit. I pray that you look at what they do. I pray that you look at their heart, okay? And you not ignore it, but you see it for what it is, okay? So again, guys, I hope that you're able to, start thinking about it. I'm going to be posting topics all throughout this week. I'm here on my Facebook. I think I'm also going to be posting some statuses here on YouTube just to kind of get you guys talking. So again, we have to be builders who are in love and working with builders. Again, remember, they might not do the same thing. You may be an entrepreneur, they may be in corporate. You may be be a white collar worker, they may be a blue collar worker, right? It doesn't matter where you come from, but you have to talk the same language, right? That's so important. You have to talk the same language so that you can be on that same wavelength. And I think I cannot stress this enough, because I see so many men and women who are wasting their time, and then they're complaining about, oh, I'm not getting a return on my investment. I did all this and they're not doing. And it's like, okay, but did you take out the time to see that seed grow, or did you just immediately say, oh, I want that seed? I want, no matter the harvest, I want that seed. No, you need to kind of let time tell and let that seed start to bud a few little leaves and start to see if that's the kind of tree that you want to rock with. You got to see, that the flower I want? Is that the plant I want? So allowing time to tell, because rushing is not going to help you get married faster. Being on every dating app is not going to help you get married faster. Being at every singles networking event is not going to help you get married faster, because it's not really about getting married faster. That's what a lot of people focus on. You know what it's really about? It's about really being in companionship with someone that you can walk in purpose with. Right? And some people, they get married because they just want a marriage ministry. Some people get married because they just want to have someone they can post with and hang out with, and they're lonely. No, that's not what any of that stuff is for. God put that thing together for a purpose. And it's not about purpose for the public, right? It's not about purpose for the public. I'm saying it again, it's not about purpose for the public. Oh, I want to have purpose. I want to get married so me and my husband can walk in purpose, so we can post statuses about relationships and help people win. But at the end of the day, it's really about you and him. It's not about, or him and her, him and you, him and her, whatever. It's not about Facebook or Instagram or being people, a couple of people can look to. It is about honestly honoring God through your relationship, doing what God called you to do. So someone said on Lynn OT, she said, I'm married young and I was already planning my future and what marriage should look like. And I just assumed that he was doing the same and would grow with me. Listen, how many times have we made that mistake? Where we were already going down the road and the person was already, look, they were still at the starting line, at the start and finish. They're like, I don't even want to be on this track. I want to be on that track over there. And you're like, oh, come on, baby, let's go. They don't even want to be on that track. They want to be on somewhere else. And I think that's an important point, is knowing where that person is. That's why, again, we need to ask questions deeper than just what's your favorite color? What do you like to do for fun? Again, that's important to know. But don't waste your time. Hit with the deeper questions. Don't wait until a dinner date to do it. Do it on the phone. Do it on a video call. Okay. Don't waste your gas. My makeup, my clothes, my men. You want to look good, smell. You don't wasted the cologne sprays and everything, right? You could have saved all of that. Right, but taking out the time, getting to know the person, knowing that they were a builder, doing some research, kind of figuring out who they are, what they do. Listen, you got to get to know all that. So guys, again, if you enjoyed it, be sure to comment, share your thoughts. Again, I'll be sharing more posts, so be sure to stay tuned, guys. I will see you guys later. See you later, Facebook. I'll talk to you soon. And bye, YouTube. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to comment if you gained anything from it. And also, too, share your insight. I would love to hear more. Bye, guys.